Hi friends, I'm Very Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. If you're returning, thank you so much. I am so grateful for you coming back here. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Today's reading will be slightly different. It's going to be a little challenging for me to read, and it might be a little challenging for you to understand. I don't know, but this is going to be a reading that I'll put a trigger warning only for those of you guys who might not be ready yet to hear this message. It could be something positive. Sorry, my voice is getting groggy. I don't know why. It just started during this reading, but it's challenging, mostly because I haven't done a reading like this, and we're looking at your misconception of how you're seeing something, possibly about yourself or a situation that isn't quite accurate. And then we're going to take a look at what the objective truth is, all right, or more a closer neutrality of the truth. So you might be seeing something in a certain way, unaware of your misconception, and then we will ask Spirit to get a clearer perspective about, or I guess an objective perspective about what is the actual truth. So this could be quite significant. It could be something quite minor, but I did ask for something that is hindering you right now, possibly holding you back or not allowing things to progress internally for you, or in a situation / circumstance that might be having you feeling stuck. All right. So I will ask Spirit to guide me in this delivery, the channeling this message for you, and I will ask that Spirit protect you and me as I channel and deliver this message for clear understanding, for a greater and highest good of the viewers. Now, there are only 2 piles to choose from, so please use your intuition. Now, because I will be doing your understanding of something, which is the misconception, if you resonate with that first bit, being something as you understand it, thinking it is the truth or your truth or some truth, then the message is for you, and we'll look at what the actual truth is. So yeah, that's how you'll know if this is your pile. And like I said, if the beginning part is not something you resonate with, then that does not mean the message is for you. All right, so use your own intuition, and like I said, if you're not prepared to hear this message, then there's plenty of other readings online that could suit your mood today. If this feels very, very, very uncomfortable, then good. If this is something that you just can't listen to, then, like I said, probably not your reading today or ever. It's definitely up to you. So take a look at these 2 options. Choose whichever one you're feeling called to. You can listen to both, certainly, because if you don't resonate with the beginning part as something you believe or understand to be true, then chances are it's not your message anyway, all right? So I will see you at your pick. Hello, my beautiful pile 1. You picked the bubble ball paperweight. So we are looking at a misconception you have about something going on right now, or about yourself. So I don't know which we're going to see, but it is an understanding you have that is not quite accurate. So we'll look at what that could be, and then we'll look at the objective truth of what reality actually is. It could be something a little more neutral, or a little thing that's not quite significant, or it could be something quite drastic. I don't know what we're going to see. So it could be something positive. It could certainly be something that is difficult to hear. I don't control the cards. I just read energy. It is up to you and Spirit to determine what is your message and not. So if you resonate with the beginning as something you understand to be true, then chances are this is your message. If you're not prepared to hear this message today, that's absolutely fine. There are plenty of readings for you on YouTube that will suit your mood. All right, so I have 2 piles. I'm expecting to see your understanding here, and as well as some of the truth. And in this pile, I'm expecting it to be more like guidance and more clarity around this truth. And then we'll pull some tarot as well to gain understanding as we go. All right, so I pre-shuffle these oracle cards. I've not looked at any of them, so I don't know what we're going to see. just to save time. So please use your intuition. If the beginning doesn't sound like your situation or your circumstance or your energy, then this is not your reading, and I could be tapping into anything around you. All right, so let us take a look. We have the fox. Well, the fox has many things here coming through. A fox, for one, because of all this orange, you could resonate with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be prominent in your birth chart, or just a fiery type energy, someone very passionate. A fox is very intelligent, very wise, very adaptable. Fox can also be cunning. A fox could be tricky. A fox can try to outwit situations, other people, and a fox could literally mean a boss or a career. Sorry, more career than a boss. I don't know why boss came through. We'll see, but yeah, could represent a career. So a career-driven person, somebody maybe who is career-driven, or just represents a career in general. All right, so lots coming through with the fox. I think I'm going to move your ball where you can't see it, so we have a little bit more space if we do need it. All right, we have Dancer of Friendship. Okay, we have two figures etched into this stone wall, carved into the stone wall. Dancer of Friendship. We have A Fearful World with 69. So number 15 is the devil in the tarot, and this reduces to 15. And this card does look a little fearful. Okay, A Fearful World. We have Magical Power with the dragonfly, and the dragonfly is all about seeing illusions for what they are, seeing the truth, cutting through illusions, being able to spot illusions. Okay, Magical Power. We have Defense with this Scorpion. So Scorpio could be significant in your birth charts. And Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto. Pluto is the planet of the underworld, our shadows, shadow side. Okay, Defense. We have Change. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. You have Bad Health with 31, or the number 4. Now, please keep in mind the words aren't necessarily what we're tapping into, more so the energy and the feeling we're getting here. All right, so we'll read this in conjunction with all the other cards with Bad Health. Number 4 is all about stability and home, structure, foundations, children, women, femininity, mother, what type of an energy. Bad health could be mental, emotional, physical. Okay, we have Breath. We have Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Interesting. We have Change over here. And we have the Game Changer, 48. And the number 12. 12 is also reduced to number 3, which is about collaboration, cooperation, but it's also about the mind and thinking, communication, social activity, interests, or early learnings. How confident you feel about magic and change, magical power and change, especially your ability to magically change yourself and your situation is crucial. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I don't pick these. This is quite the message you're getting, pile 1. We have Mountain Road. You're on the road to success. Mountains in the Lenormand deck talk about obstacles, being things we can't move or get past. And sometimes we got to go through it, not around it. And sometimes we got to get to the top only to find out we have to descend, which is completely different than going up the mountain. So we'll see what that's all about here. We have the crossroads. Did we not? Yes. I'll read it again. When the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. Wow, I'm getting goosebumps. We have the Queen of Diamonds, which is the Queen of Pentacles. That is Earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Could be significant in your birth chart. And the number 22. 2 or the number 4 coming up again. And like we said, 4 was coming up with bad health. All about stability, home, roots, and family, and self-care. Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Okay, I won't flip these just yet. This is for later, for more guidance, and I won't pull tarot either because I am getting your message quite clear, and as we go, we'll see what the truth is. Pile 1. I think, just let me have a sip of my tea. I think there is a situation, but I think what the misconception you have, or the thing you're telling yourself, or the thing you believe is internal, and it is holding you back. And it's holding you back because I think you're fearful of making a change in your life. I think you're resisting growth and expansion for yourself because it seems very fearful of something that is out there that might change your world in a significant way. So you might believe there is either nothing you can do, or in order to do something, it is going to be almost something that is spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally impossible for you to pull off. And this is not true at all. So I feel like you're trying everything in your power to convince yourself that there is nothing you are able to do, and you can't do anything about whatever situation, circumstance you're in. But the answer, or I guess the objective truth, is that everything changes. Everything flows in life. It's never consistently the same. So we have to allow ourselves to adapt, and we have to allow ourselves to ascend and grow spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. Allow ourselves to not hang on to what feels safe or complacent, or what once might have been something that worked in our lives, or we could depend on, or we were attached to. And it causes suffering because when the universe is trying to put in front of us new blessings, a new experience, something to allow us to grow from spiritually and evolve to the next part of our life, that would bring in a huge amount of abundance, magical experience, material wealth, growth, we must allow ourselves to accept without resistance this change. But we might fear of losing control or losing what we have. So we sit in a 4 of Pentacles, which is hanging on to our comfort, our understanding, and an inability to allow change to happen. So there is something about your situation I feel as though is not the same as maybe you're thinking it is. You might see a lot of safety and protection. Oh, just give me a break. Give me a break. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Pile number 1. I had to take that call as I'm saying, give me a break. I just meant let me pause away for a bit here. But not quite sure what I was saying or amidst saying, but what I was picking up is that there is you trying to pull the wool over your own eyes in a way of convincing yourself as though something is your current situation that you're hanging on to, which is something that you've been in for quite some time, is safe, is protecting you, or is doing something for you, and it's actually hindering you. It's actually doing the opposite. And I think it is taking a toll. And I think if you continue in that sort of state, it's, I don't know, I do feel like it's taking a physical toll on you. But I feel like, well, everything is interconnected, or energy. And so I feel as though when we're not allowing growth, if we're resisting any sort of change or natural organic expansion of ourselves in our mind, in our spirit, in our soul, it starts to take physical toll. So I think what this is resulting in is maybe you doing things to, in your day in, day out, to numb you in some way, or to keep you avoidant of what the truth is. So you could find yourself harming yourself in some way, okay? And I don't mean like very drastically. The harm could just be engaging in things that overall, oh my goodness, I'll be right back, I'm sorry. All right, interruption after interruption. That could quite be significant here. That doesn't generally happen frequently in my readings, but I was waiting for a confirmation to book an appointment. So, and it's been a rigmarole, and it keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And so I feel like there's something you know. I think you know, okay? I think you see it. But you're maybe trying to tell yourself other things, because I think you're covering up the fear that comes with allowing ourselves to let go of something that feels comfortable and stepping into the unknown, because change is always unknown and we have to adapt. So we could be very much telling ourselves at this point in time, or this is something that's not for me just yet, or I have to do XYZ first, or that in order for me to get there, there's all these things that need to line up, or that I must do. And so you make it seem bigger than it is, or that the change is this big mountain obstacle when it really is not, when all it would require you to do, because I don't feel this is going to be something quite significant that's going to flip your world completely upside down overnight. But this is something that will change your world in a very magical way through time, through evolution, through an organic shift of natural energy that I think you're definitely able to handle, because it isn't something that is quite drastic and significant that you're going to not know how to handle and completely fail or fall on your face. I feel like this is something that when you learn to let go, that's a process in itself. It's bit by bit, certain things, which is a gradual process. And then when you're fully capable of not having your grips on something that might have kept you feeling like it was safe, although it was causing you more harm, I feel, because you're in a state of distraction, causing yourself, an obstacle that doesn't need to be there. And then slowly but surely, you make room and space for something that's coming in that's a lot different, that will slowly and gradually be something you can learn to evolve with. And then look back on your situation and say, why was I so stuck? Or why was I so thinking that that was the greatest or the best thing, or a place that I deserved to be in, or wanted, or held on to, just out of a understanding of it being something that was good at a point in time, and that I had to remain in that state, and that anything outside of that was going to push me beyond my capability of something I don't want or am prepared for, or maybe I want it, but I just feel not ready, or that there's all these things that I'm kind of telling myself have to happen in order for me to be successful in this new change. So you could be pushing away change. You could be very defensive. You could be telling yourself stories. And this could be anything from your career to a relationship to a next stage phase in your life. We see friendship here. And I do feel as though this is your ability to allow new energy to come in, whatever form it comes in as, to understand that it's a gradual process. And I know obviously if we have a job we've been doing forever, for that example, and it can change our world completely to now be in a complete different field, something we do desire. But I feel like it would be a process of first coming to terms with the idea of knowing that your current state isn't serving growth, isn't allowing you to evolve. And how do you accept this before you quit or before you take on something new? You'd have to come to terms with an understanding of your current situation and then let the universe plan out everything, because you don't need to plan anything. You just have to accept, okay? And we were seeing acceptance, yeah, right here. So I think that's the only thing you really need to do here. There isn't this whole big thing. It's like, accept the fact that if you're in a career that is unsatisfying, how do you then accept the fact that there's something else? How do you accept the fact you'd have to leave this job? What would that feel like? And then become accepting of it. Become accepting of it to the point where then you get to say, you know what? I am prepared to close this chapter in my life and do that without fear. And maybe you're already there, but you're still kind of convincing or hanging on to something. Because I do feel like whatever you're hanging on to or feeling right now is something that brings you sort of a comfort in some way, like I said, but it more is like a protection. I feel like it's protecting you from the unknown. It's protecting you from what could happen in this new world that you haven't experienced. And so you're building it up to be something that it's not really, and it keeps you held back and too afraid to make the change. So interesting that I was sensing with the mountain here, you know, going up this mountain is one experience because we see an aim and we climb and we get to the top of what we aim, and then we have to descend to the other side, which is a complete different experience. And that's where the joy, the magical power happens. So I feel like this is the journey of acceptance. You know, the acceptance is going to take some time to fully release energies of feeling stuck, energies of having to control, energies of feeling like complacency, or this energy of where you're at is bringing for you some sort of benefit, because I feel like it's bringing you more pain. It's bringing you more, I don't know, more hurting sort of energies than it is bringing you any sort of benefits, okay? And that might be hard to wrap your mind around. So it might be a struggle, a challenge to get to that point. But I think all you need to do is get to the point of acceptance, of understanding that your current situation of the circumstance you're in, state of mind, is out of a fear of what's new. Now, how you'll know this is you, because you might still be in a state of in denial. Sorry, didn't finish that thought. So all you got to do is get there, and then you have to descend. Like, you can't stay on that mountaintop, right? So as you descend, you're kind of brainless about it, but you're just kind of going down. I mean, you can't be completely brainless, but you're guided down. And this is spirit taking the wheel. And that's where I said the magic happens. And this is where the change happens. And this is where life is completely different. But it is a process here. And the first bit is definitely under your control. You have to allow yourself to control yourself, to release your state of hanging on and your mindset that this is something that is providing you with a benefit when it's the opposite, okay? And you might already know that it's not providing you with a benefit because maybe you're feeling physically drained. Maybe all your distractions or your bad habits or whatever you're doing is mentally draining you, you're feeling tired, this is how you'll know, like, are you content? You know, are you really, really, really here content? Or are you telling yourself this to avoid what's on the other side? Like, do you imagine your life at the peak of what you want would be different than how it's appearing today? You know, and I know a lot of people can have a vision of what they strive for and some ideal life, but I'm not talking about something that is so pie in the sky, like, you know, I mean, it could be if you want to be, I don't know, a millionaire or an Elon Musk and, you know, have the whole world kind of at your feet. I'm more talking about if you feel like your day in, day out is cumbersome, you're waking up tired, you're exhausted, you're feeling stuck, your situation here is calling for you to really look at what you're hanging on to in your everyday life that you feel very comfortable with, but it's hindering you. It's not allowing you to move, to ascend, to expand yourself because of fear. Okay, so allow yourself to trust with this breath. I feel it is allowing yourself to just release, allow the universe to take the wheel, understand that change is actually for the better here. And you might already be at this crossroads. You might already be kind of up here, but you know, you're not sure if you should, I don't know, I just heard like walk down, but this side that you came up, which would be an experience within itself, but maybe you're fearing, you know, you're fearing what the other side would look like. So you might be kind of hovering over this crossroads, but you can only stay at the crossroads for so long, because eventually the universe isn't going to keep your situation safe. Eventually, like I said, because nothing's going to stay the same, the only constant here is change, is make your environment so difficult that you can no longer stay in that environment. And it becomes very apparent that that it is not beneficial for you. And maybe it was gradual, but I feel like some of you guys can see it already. Okay, but we're still hanging on. We're still defensive. We're still fearing the release, the allowance of new to come in. And you could be at that stage now because we got to make space here to allow new to come in. So let's take a look at these oracle cards that should provide a little bit more clarity on your situation. We have Rejoicing, 26. Or the number 8, you have learned how to make the most out of life. What were we talking about? Expansion. Feeling like, why was I so, like, this seems more impossible. Not impossible, what's the word? Sorry, I'm having a hard time communicating this. It seems very, this seems difficult. Hanging on, waking up exhausted, not allowing the organic growth of expansion. And when you do, it's like there's no more resistance. It's like freedom. It's like you're happy that you made the decision to allow things, even though it was unknown to you. It brings you a sort of peace. It brings you happiness, and it makes you look back on like, why was I hanging on to something that it was time for it to change. It was time for me to let go. It was time for it to evolve, and it became a struggle every day to maintain something. So in order to make the most out of life, we need to allow the expansion to happen of our spiritual self, and however this stretches and pulls us is for our own benefit, because we're not going to be pushed so much that we are unable to handle what the universe is trying to give to us. So keep that in mind, because I think that's where the fear comes. We have 24 with authentic self-expression. I love these cards for you. This is number 7, reduced, with the authentic self-expression. Be true to who you are, and your life will change in the most amazing ways. So I'm telling you guys, beautiful pile 1. I think you know there is some situation that is pushing you and requiring you to change. And with this authentic self-expression, I feel you feel connected to that being your career, your new phase of life, your new step in a direction of true, authentic desire of who you are. You're no longer whatever this energy is. And it's scary for you for some reason because you've only maybe known yourself as being whatever you're stuck to. So you're now living an inauthentic version of yourself, which is limiting your growth, which is limiting your ability to welcome the new benefits of success, spiritual growth, and material wealth, and physical wealth, and everything else that comes with being authentic. Things fall into place. But when we resist, we cause a lot of chaos and pain, okay? But when we allow things to flow, we now can allow the benefits to enter our life, and we feel more connected to what's true for us. So we feel at peace. We don't feel like we're living some way that we have to force ourselves, even if we've lived like that for years, right? It feels very much now forced in some way. Wow, I love these cards for you guys. All right, let's see what we have. We have hope, love, and acceptance. Acceptance coming out again. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. Beautiful pile one. Oh my goodness. This is what I was feeling. It's like, I feel like you're not choosing what you love. I feel like you're not choosing what you desire, what you have in your mind's eye of what is true to you. I feel like you're choosing to distract or to pain yourself or to do something to yourself to remain in some way. And this could be because of we don't recognize our own divine self-worth by choosing ourselves, you know. And you might be telling yourself that you do value yourself, but everything you're doing around you to hang on to something like this is saying the opposite here. You're telling the universe the opposite here. And maybe you have some hope, because I feel like you do have hope, but hope is not the greatest thing, because hope can be a killer. When we just hope, but we don't allow, and we don't accept, and we don't surrender, we have to do something when we're called to act. And I feel like you're being called to act. You're being called to act in alignment with your true, authentic self, and you are resisting, you're avoiding, you're defensive, you're tricking yourself, you're telling yourself, and you're trying to evade whatever changes need to happen here. So you're at a crossroads. You're being called to act. You're being called to choose love of self. You're being called to accept change and allow the progress process to happen however it happens, and accept this, okay? It's nothing to fear. The only fear is fear itself. All right. We have ring. Well, a ring is all about contracts, commitments, obligations. There's a lot coming through with this, and I don't know what you're going to resonate with. I think this is the crossroads. You're at a crossroads to commit to something. And maybe it's to, I don't know, like a contract of sorts, could be a whole bunch of things. We might feel if we take on that career and we sign on, now we have to dedicate ourselves in some way. So we're fearing the attachment of this new idea of ourselves. So we are seeing or perceiving something unhealthy. But I think what Spirit is saying is allow yourself to not get hung up on the idea of what the fear is, but allow yourself to experience and accept this new phase as something you're welcoming. That isn't going to, if it's something that isn't going to work out, let's say, then that is the lesson here, but that is expansion, that is the growth, and that is still better than what you're stuck in and experiencing right now. You're still going to find the joy in this. You're still going to rejoice the experience here, even if it doesn't work out. Because I can't tell you that this is going to be the be-all and end-all. You might take a career change here or a jump in something and absolutely hate it. But then you know you've tried something, and then who knows, you might meet someone there that opens the door to the next thing. And had you not taken this, you would have never had opened this other door, because it is a process in descending. And what I mean by descending, you're actually ascending, but you're now experiencing life taking the wheel, the universe. And so I feel there is a contractual sort of destiny here that, I mean, we have free will, but something that you're destined to experience here because you are needing this on your next spiritual growth and you're resisting, okay? And for some of you guys, it could be a commitment to another. So maybe you have to take the next step in a relationship, okay? And you're fearful of a commitment here because what if it doesn't work? Or what if I have to change something? And Spirit is saying this is the next phase in your growth. This is the next experience here that you're needing to allow yourself to experience, however it happens, without trying to resist. Because as long as you keep connecting to your authentic desire and want, and not avoiding or resisting, then you're still aligned with what's meant for you, what's supposed to come for you. You can't be coerced or forced into something that is not your truest desire, your truest alignment with who you are. And I feel right now you're not aligned with who you are anymore. And this might be a big surprise or just a mindset that you're trying to understand. But I feel like the understanding comes once we let go that we don't understand. The understanding comes when we surrender and we allow ourselves to accept what is, because we might never really fully understand what is until, way after, when we've allowed things to happen. So commitment, contracts, needing to give of ourselves in some way. A ring can also be a gift. And I feel like the gift is being given to you by the universe for a chance at something that is very loving, that is going to align with your true authentic self, that's going to bring you a lot of happiness here. I feel this is spiritual wealth. It's also going to be material wealth. It's going to be everything here. I think that's going to blow up your world in such a magical way. We have magical power, and I don't know that you understand this, or maybe you do, but you might feel not deserving of it in some way, in a subconscious way here, with recognizing your divine worth, that you are worthy of all of this magic, that you are worthy of what sort of greatness comes from this beautiful gift the universe is giving to you. So we have surrender the idea you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. So this could be about a relationship, but what I feel is that this is talking about your idea of something within self. You might be telling yourself, like I said, XYZ needs to happen. I need to be all of these things, or understand all of these things, or come to terms, or make do with A, B, C, D, whatever it is, before I'm allowed to accept, before I'm allowed to surrender to a connection, to somebody, or maybe you have an idea of what this connection, this relationship, this new thing is, okay? And we could still be talking career, because I feel like there's a need to understand an outcome, I feel, or you need to understand what you're getting into so much so that there is a comfort, there is no fear. But what Spirit is saying is that you can never fully really know where this is going, or understand it to the level that's going to take away your fear. The fear is fear itself, that letting go and surrendering and understanding that healing comes from this next phase of learning how to surrender, how to release, how to accept, how to make space here for what is. And I feel you do align yourself closer to a happiness that you're stopping right now, you're resisting. And you cannot fix yourself so much in a way that you're doing it. So I feel like you want to get better in a way. I feel like you're maybe trying, but I feel like what you're doing is not helping you, because the fix is really coming with the healing. And that isn't with a trying, that is just an action you need to do, which is letting go and surrendering to whatever you're hanging on to. And that's it. You don't need to do anything else. There is no fixing of self. There is no nothing. All of this comes naturally once you surrender to accepting the state that you have now released. And that's it. Spirit takes care of everything else. And so you might say, well, I don't have this, or I'm like that, or all these things, right? All these things that you're seeing as an obstacle, and it's not an obstacle. That's the illusion, is you see it as an obstacle here, and yeah, it could be things that are unhealthy and that are in the way, but once you surrender and release and allow yourself to accept, this is where the change slowly happens. All these things fall away. They slowly become better. And it doesn't mean you don't have to put in any effort, but you'll be guided to what the right thing is to do, and it's effortless. Okay, when we're hanging on to something that isn't for us anymore, it's a struggle, it's pain, because when we feel it, we're going against the grain and we're resisting, and that is challenging. But when we're in line with our authentic self, it's no longer feels like resistance. We're now going with the current. We're now being guided in what we need to do. So it's easier to give up addictions. It's easier to face truths. Now we aim for something that means more to us. We have a greater desire for something that means more. So the things that are insignificant, that might seem significant today, fall away. And it might seem impossible right now, impossible because we're in the weeds of it, because we haven't experienced the other side. But once we're on the other side, we don't see the side that we came from in the same way. We see it when you climb the mountain. Everything looks completely different than when you're at the base of the mountain, or even when you're, whatever view you're at right now. I think you're seeing something and it appears one way, but Spirit's asking you to cut through whatever illusion that you're telling yourself, because you're trying to convince yourself of something and trick yourself into something, and that's stemming from the fears, okay? And so if you're feeling resistant, defensive, guarded, and avoiding some big change or some decision that's going to change your life, don't feel as though this decision is going to be so significant that all of a sudden it's like this huge overnight shift. This will take a lot of time, and it will be such an organic change, and your physical, emotional, spiritual body will have to catch up however it does, okay? And some things might go quick and some things might, be slow, but for the most part, it's nothing you cannot handle. It's not a huge overnight shift of things that you cannot handle. So that might be the fear. I don't know if that's easing someone, but there's no, and I think this is the monologue you're telling yourself is once this, and this, because I feel like this change is something you have been wanting, but you are telling yourself that there's all these things that need to happen first. So the delays, I feel like you keep pushing something out here, and maybe you really believe that it's true that once I do this, and once I give up that, and once this happens, and once I'm this age, or once I have XYZ under my belt, and once this and this and all these things, and it's always going to be a delay here. Sometimes you just have to take the jump where you're at, or else you'll consistently be resisting to the point where the universe just pushes you towards discomfort, and then the change will be something you really do not like. So I feel like right now it is under your ability, and I feel like you will be rejoicing, conquering this sort of energy. I don't feel I need tarot, although I will pull 3 just because I want to, just to see what sort of is the final message. If there's anything here for pile 1, Spirit, that they're needing to hear that was maybe unclear, that will provide guidance for beautiful pile 1. Thank you so much, Spirit, and thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. 1. So, Spirit, what do they need to know? 2 and 3. All right. Ace of Cups, emotional new beginning. Allow yourself to let love in. This is all about self-love. Know your self-worth. This is having a beginning that's aligned with how you feel. Be open to your emotions. This is deep, deep love. I feel there is love of something here. And it starts with you knowing you're worthy of this, okay? With this Ace of Cups. This is beautiful. And we have the Hermit, introspection. This is Virgo energy. This is really understanding self. And you could be, it goes great with this authentic self-expression, because you could really be removed right now from society or pulled away in some way, trying to understand self. And I feel as though the only way you can really truly know how to sort of connect to something here is to allow yourself to do now, because I feel like you've been removed for some time. And this might be the cunning over self. You might be completely withdrawn, telling yourself that maybe I need to understand something different about me, or understand more about this thing within myself, that it's keeping you in this analysis paralysis of self. And so it's causing this, spiritual and physical bad health situation, because you're shutting things out. You might be feeling very alone and not allowing love to come in, not allowing people and not allowing new situations to rejoice with you. There's nothing further here that you need to understand, okay? Pile number 1, there's things here that you'll need to experience now. And then through that experience, you get further understanding. But staying in this, whatever situation you're in, is not going to provide you with anything further that's going to be helpful to your growth, to your next part of this journey. The 10 of Wands, yeah, that's the burden. This is now so much you can't carry anymore. And I do feel it is, this sort of, it's taking a physical, emotional, spiritual, mental toll on you every day. And now the 10 of Wands is this, we can't no more, we can't carry any more wands. Eventually, the straw that broke the camel's back, we can no longer go up the mountain. We're done. It's time to put down the burden and allow ourselves to, make the decision to choose ourselves, to choose love, to choose to align ourselves with what our authentic expression is, and not fear what this comes with. Okay, not fear what this comes with. Pile 1. I feel like I've been reading for this pile for this group, this viewer, for quite some time. I feel your pain, pile 1. It's challenging here, okay? And as we were seeing the number 4 coming out a bit when we're talking about home and roots, and maybe you're, a family person and you have roots here, some sense of stability, but there is a pull here to create a foundation for yourself, a new foundation that's more aligned with who you are. And I feel like this is a beautiful opportunity for you to open the door to this next piece of your life that is totally aligned with who you are today, not who you were, in yesterday's past. It's now very much aligned with you today. And I feel you have a love here for whatever sort of experience this could be, but it starts with loving and allowing yourself to know you deserve this in your life, and to not fear or convince yourself otherwise. All right. Pile 1, this was a beautiful reading. I wish you guys the very best. If you're called to pile 2, I will see you there. If not, I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2. You picked the selenite tower with the heart. This is beautiful. We are looking at, where should I put this? I'll put this over here. We are looking at what you might have a misconception about. Okay, so you understand, you have an understanding of something, and this something is your perception, and it's not quite accurate. So it's actually hindering the progress that you're trying to make. Now, this could be something within yourself, an understanding you have of yourself that is not quite true, or you're seeing it in a certain way, or it could be a misconception about something going on around you that isn't quite true, and so it's got things stuck. Okay, so it could be something quite drastic and you're seeing it completely wrong, or it could be something just that needs tweaking and not quite that large, that once you understand will allow you to have gain a better perspective. Now, I do issue the trigger warning because you might not want to hear what this is, and you might say this message is not whatever, or something that you might be resistant to, okay? Because our subconscious might want to hang on to what we believe for whatever reason. So if you resonate with the first sort of part here, your understanding of something, if that sounds exactly what you understand of a situation or yourself, then chances are this is your reading, and we will come up with the objective truth that you might not want to see, or maybe you haven't had a chance to see it. So trigger warning, if you're not prepared to hear this, you might want to go check out another reading, because sometimes it could be very uncomfortable to hear truths, okay? So it's up to you in spirit to determine whether you are ready or prepared enough to hear this. But again, only if you resonate with the first part. And then I have shuffled the oracle cards and have not looked at these two piles. We're going to look at, like I said, whatever your situation, circumstance, energy is. And I also hope to get some truth here. And then this is further clarity to what the actual truth is. And we'll pull tarot if we need to get a little bit more clear. So we have cave. Okay. We have mushroom. I already feel a divide here, but we're going to get into what you feel. And I feel like you're seeing two things separate from each other in some way. It's like you versus whatever person, situation, circumstances. Like there's this separation going on here. Okay. Hunter of conflict. Yeah, that's what's creating some sort of conflict here. We have suppression of a star being by hands unworthy. Number 1. We have overcome fear. A lantern with a candle. It's giving me Ace of Wands type energy. We have intuition. We have inner child. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. We have marriage. Number 3. Oh my goodness. We have emotions. Wow, this is quite the reading pile. Number 2. Did I call you pile 3? Peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energies. And we have the priestess, number 6. The priestess. Be still and know. Listen to your hunches and intuitions. Intuition coming out again. Be ready for solutions to seemingly unsolvable problems to appear. Be ready for solutions to seemingly unsolvable problems to appear. Okay. The sickle, the Jack of Diamonds, which is the, it could be the Page or the Knight of Pentacles here. Okay. And the number 10. 10 is all about endings. Abrupt ending, something you cut off. Someone you cut off. Some situation that is cut off. Dolphin. Financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Now, I don't usually read the words so much as the energy coming through here. Okay, so we'll read this in conjunction with your reading. And we have fair woman. Dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. We won't flip these just yet. I think I might pull just a couple of tarot cards here. Just to... We'll put that there, and we'll put that there. Just to get a little bit more before we get into your reading, pile number 2. So we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2, Spirit. What misconception do they have here? Well, we have quite a bit, but I do feel like we want to pull these. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Tower, we have the 9 of Cups, we have the King of Cups, we have the Page of Swords, and we have the Devil. Oh my goodness. Look at these cards. Okay. These are new cards, so I don't want to cover them so I can energetically see what they're about. You might not get the ending, or the bottom, I should say, of these cards so much. Let me see if you can see. Okay, perfect. We'll keep that like that. Okay, pile 2. Let me just keep tapping in here to the energy that I was feeling. Okay. Here's a situation you have. And the situation is involving another person. Okay, and it could very well be somebody you're romantically or have been romantically invested in. Okay, could be your spouse, could be just your lover, could be somebody here you have feelings for and deep emotions for. And I do feel as though this person has reciprocal feelings for you. But I feel as though there was a challenge, a struggle, a conflict, and I feel this person isn't in their best behavior, because I feel like this person is dealing with something here that is very challenging for them with the Devil card. Okay, and I feel as though this person is showing up in a very immature way, and I feel like this person is showing up in a way that could be quite selfish, or you feel as though this person is selfish. And you feel like you've experienced a situation with a person here that has left you seeing yourself as separate from this person now, because I do feel like this is your way to move forward. So you could have cut this person out, because this person could have been someone that you felt was very, I don't know, toxic or just not good, and things weren't happening in a way here that were supposed to be happening. So this message is going to be a little bit difficult for me to deliver here, because I want to put the caveat out here that if somebody was mean, toxic, abusive, blah, 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 all those things, and I don't mean blah, 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 but there's so many things here that I can't even list them all, and you got away, then that's good. I don't say that's bad, but for who I'm reading for here, there was something here that we cut out of someone. We cut this person out, and I feel like this person was acting in this way due to some, yes, toxicity in their life. But I feel like this person is coming around, and I feel like this person is coming around to take accountability. And I feel like you're ready to not hear what this person has to say to you because of your pain, because of the pain this person has caused to you, and you can't see a resolution. You don't know how you could accept this person. You don't know how you could allow this person to come back into your life, because it's been so difficult for you to move away and forward from this person because of all the pain you've had to endure here. And I feel like there was a lesson here for yourself in understanding your own self-worth. And this person was not helping in that. This person, well, I say not helping, you could feel as though this person was the opposite of showing your self-value and your self-worth. So in hindsight, this actually helped you in understanding your own self-worth, in understanding what you want and how you're supposed to be treated, and all of this. And once you came to understand this, you acted, rightfully so, and cut this person out, and on you went. Okay, but now this is the part that I think we're not quite maybe seeing is the other person's suffering here, and maybe you don't really want to see the other person suffer because you're or suffering because they didn't see you're suffering in some way. So you might be in an energy here of I suffered, and so if this person is suffering, then that's of their own doing, and I'm good with that. But that isn't necessarily the most beneficial way to be looking at this situation. I feel as though there's a need for there to be empathy and there to be an understanding that this person has had to overcome something quite significant in their life in order to be able to get them to your level. And I don't know necessarily that this person is at your level just yet, but I feel like this person is trying to get there, however this means is. So I think what Spirit wants you to do is, and this is very hard, forget the past, and allow what's coming in with this person to organically grow into what it's meant to manifest to, because I do feel like there is something quite significant here, and I think intuitively at some point you knew this. There was something fated, destined, and a coming together in a way that never happened. Okay, now we see marriage here. It doesn't have to be traditional marriage, but I feel there is a union, a coming together with somebody in a way that is connected, interconnectedness. I feel there is an interconnectedness happening, but I feel you are denying it or removed from that or keeping yourself unavailable because of what you experienced, and I don't blame you. So you're removed, you're withdrawn, you're not wanting to come forward, you're not wanting to allow yourself the opportunity to be tricked, to be convinced, to be pulled in any direction with somebody who was selfish, who is only looking after themselves. Although there was deep, deep, deep love, and there still is deep, deep love towards you, this person acted in a very immature way. We have Capricorn and Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy coming through. And I feel like what Spirit is saying is that there is a resolution here, but you don't see it. Okay, be still and know. Listen to your hunches and your intuition. Be ready for solutions to seemingly unsolvable problems to appear. I think you feel it's over and done, swept away. And it could have been for some time, but the time was necessary in order for you to evolve, in order for you to understand your own self-worth. I see the number 6 here, which is all about the lovers and the choice. We're seeing marriage here with the 2 people. I feel like you're now needing to overcome your own fear of being hurt again by this person. And this is difficult for me to relay this message because I don't know what this person did, and I don't ever like saying to give anybody a chance here. If you've cut this person off, it's for a reason. But with the dolphin here and this King of Cups, I feel there is this deep, deep love, and intuitively you have this knowing of something here that okay, I'm getting another message now. For some of you guys, if you have not cut out this person, you have to. You have to cut out this person. Okay? And you have a misconception here. And the misconception is that if you cut out this person, that whatever intuition you have here is not right, that you feel like there's something is fated or destined here with this person, because I feel like in order for things to evolve, if there's something that is meant to be, this person cannot keep you in a state of suppression. They cannot keep you in a state of not knowing your self-worth, and the only way to do this is clearly cut this person out. Okay, but if you have already done so, then there is this person who is returning with some sort of understanding. So allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. This is talking about your own self. So you've had to withdraw, you've had to go inwards, you've had to give yourself the love that someone who you felt loved you deep down was not able to show up because they were too immature or preoccupied with devil energies, okay, and concerned about their own well-being and their own emotional self, which was very prevalent? No, obvious. It was very obvious to you, sorry, that this person was selfish in some way, okay? But I think what you're not seeing is why this person was the way that they were, and maybe you do not care so much, okay? But if you have not cut this person out, it is time to put an end to a toxic situation with somebody who is acting immature, and trust that the universe has the wheel, that things will shift in a way that are supposed to in order for you to get what you desire for yourself, to bring emotional fulfillment from someone who is going to show it to you, who can love you deeply, who can give you emotional fulfillment in a deep way that you're deserving of. But as long as you're continuously in a cycle with somebody who is not showing you your self-worth, you're going to remain unhappy. So you got to overcome the fear and allow yourself to explore outside of this connection. Okay? I feel both these messages very strongly here. So how you'll know if this is your pile? You come out of a situation and you cut someone out. Ooh, now you feel like crap about, and you don't want to give them another chance. You don't want to hear anything about this person. There's a need to find the peace. A need to let go of all negative energies and revisit. I'm not saying you have to go to this person, but I feel like this person is coming forward with some sort of energy here that is going to have to be something that you see from a different perspective in order for there to be a solution here, because I'm sure you don't want to hold bad blood or resentments or anger towards someone. And there is a future here, okay, that I feel and see. Now, if you're still with somebody here that you love deeply, and there's no denying, and you understand there to be something more, you have to let go. There is not going to be something more until you find your self-worth, until you find your value, until you find what you're deserving of here. And you're not supposed to be in a situation where someone is selfish, where someone is not showing you appreciation, where someone is toxic, where someone is hanging on to things that don't allow there to be progress, commitments, creations coming together, honesty. Okay, I feel you're very connected to this person. I am being called to read this mushroom card. Let us read, because there is poisonous mushrooms and there is edible mushrooms. And how do we know which is which? So we might be constantly eating things we shouldn't, okay? Meaning we're consuming people in our lives that are toxic for no reason. And sometimes we're not sure. So we got to get certain. Okay, so here, mushroom. Fungi are not plants or animals, but are in a category all on their own. There are many kinds of fungi, but we're going to focus in on one that has a long connection with witchery. Mushrooms thrive in the darkness, growing from and transforming decomposing materials. Essentially, they create life from the most basic particles of death, and sometimes even carry death, or at least the doorway to it, on their spores. There is a new, sorry, I don't know why I cannot read ever. There is an old proverb that says, all mushrooms are edible, but some only once. Further adding to their mystic nature, many species of mushrooms seemingly sprout up overnight out of nowhere, spawning much lore over the centuries about spirit workings. Friend or foe, sometimes it's hard to determine based by appearances who may be good for you and who's not. Follow your gut here. It won't lead you astray. There are strange and unpredictable surprises ahead. The best thing you can do is keep an open mind. Okay, perfect. Love it all, because both are coming through very strong. So you experience something. Remember, it only needs to trick you once. You've been hurt, you've been scorned, you ate the poisonous mushroom, the toxic, and then never again, right? So that's your mindset. That is the misconception. What do you mean never again? there is something here you're cutting yourself off from, okay? So be open, it says, be open. And I do feel at some point you had an intuition and it wasn't trying to lead you astray. And you might say it did because I was hurt, but yes, but the intuition knows there's something greater here to be created. Now, if you are, like I said, in the second scenario here, the mushroom is toxic. You do not need to stay in a toxic situation. Use your intuition to surrender this connection, this person, and allow yourself to accept a version of yourself outside of this connection, because I feel as though this change, this shift will allow there to be progress, okay, that you're not seeing just yet. So I do feel there was conflict. I feel there was struggle. And I do feel like you are now in a mindset, and rightfully so, that has developed over time. But there is, like we read with the mushroom card, be ready for solutions, seemingly unsolvable problems to appear. Something's going to appear. And I feel like what's appearing is this person. And there is a solution here. Okay. I don't know where you're at with this process, like I said. So if you've been pulled away, this person might pop out of nowhere here with some sort of thing that you might be resistant to because you don't believe them, and maybe shy. Fool me once, fool me twice, and you're shying away from something here. So let us take a look at these other oracle cards to provide more clarity here around your situation. We have metamorphosis. Oh my goodness. Number 2. Like the caterpillar that emerges from its cocoon, you're about to get your wings. I feel like a situation is morphing into something that I don't think you see. I really think you aren't thinking that this person is a butterfly because they've showed up as a caterpillar. Completely different. Somebody who has done something here. Okay. But you'll never see this butterfly if we're in a mindset here that is already resistant, removed, and hanging on to pains we experienced. So it's difficult for me to communicate this message, okay? To tell you to forgive someone because it's hard. I don't know what they did. I don't like saying it, but this is what I'm seeing here is like you have to let go and let go of that, at least for your own self. But I feel like this person is changed in some way here, and it's hard for me to even understand, you know, that someone could change from a caterpillar to a butterfly. But I mean, it happens, and this is what's this message is saying. So there's a decision here with the number 2, and the decision here is solely in your hands. But I think if you're in a mindset that keeps hanging on to what you've experienced and the conflict, you won't see the light. You're caged. Okay, you're caged. Your mindset isn't allowing you to explore something beautiful as a butterfly because you experienced the caterpillar version. So you're closed off. But I feel like there's still a light in here. So I feel like there's still a desire and intuition, a knowing of something greater, grander. It did not lead you astray, but maybe the timing was not right. Okay, so you've had to deal with your own sort of wounding here and allow yourself to give yourself the love that maybe this person was not showing up for. Okay. So this person could have certainly been in a very toxic energy. And I don't really necessarily believe in toxic masculinity so much, okay, at all. But in an energy of masculinity, so much so that I feel as though this person comes back in their divine feminine energy, which is something different than what you've experienced. And I feel like it is an energy here of somebody who is receptive, somebody who is wanting to show a side of love here that maybe you are very suspect because you might feel this person wants something or is trying to trick you in some way. And this is coming from you still hanging on to an experience of understanding. Now, how do we be discerning but allow ourselves to be open? And I feel this is the walking that fine line, you know, walking that fine line to not allow ourselves to be hurt, but allow ourselves to release any sort of resistance we might have because of an experience. And it's easy to shut someone out and say it's done and that's it and close that door. But are we missing out on something here that I feel we might be? Because I do feel there is something more here that is fated, that is destined, that didn't sort of happen, but it's shifting in a complete different way here with the Tower. It's completely different than it was. Okay, that's this metamorphosis. And maybe you're completely different than who you were because you've had to change. You've had to address yourself. All right, so what next? The magic touch. You are accessing true magic from deep within. Yeah. I feel it's been very difficult for you to go through such a process here, okay? But I feel like there is, with the intuition, accessing magic from deep within, I feel like you have to pull some sort of reserves from within you to be able to surrender some sort of pain that you experienced. And not everyone is able to do this freely and genuinely. They might be lying to themselves, but they still hang on or harbor some resistance because of their anger. We see the number 12 here, and the number 12 is the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is seeing something completely different, having a complete different perspective and seeing it from the other person's point of view. So has this person experienced something that was so toxic in their life, that had a hold on them, that you might be saying, I don't care. But when you really sit there and think about it, were they acting out of something that was really, I say out of their control, although we always have control, but when we're in our subconscious energies, we don't really have control. We don't really have free will because we're not aware of how we're acting. It's just coming from our subconscious. We just do it. We don't know why we're doing it. That's how we react. 97% of how we act on a day-to-day basis is through the subconscious. We're not aware of why we're doing what we do. So until this person becomes consciously aware, and I feel this person is becoming very aware of something that they needed to do, they need to change in order for there to be resolution here, which I feel you're having to access a part of yourself that is going to be difficult for you to access here, but it is in gaining another perspective to a situation here. Okay, so just be open. I feel you are enlightened enough to have a different perspective here and keep yourself in an energy of discernment still, not be foolish about something here. We have birds. Yes, this is all about communication. And we see the number 12 again, which is the Hangman. So I feel you're getting communication from someone coming forward, and they're going to be communicating to you something. And this message came through a couple of my readings already. And again, we can't really pinpoint energy, but you're in this energy of somebody coming forward with a communication. They might be showing this change. And so you're needing to, you could do what you want, but what this is saying is that you're being asked and guided to see things from their perspective, okay? In order for you to understand where the magic lies here, in order for you to overcome something here. Oh, I just saw some flickering. Weird. I don't know what that was. I saw some flickering. Okay. Yeah, we can't hang on to any negativity here. So just be neutral as you can be here, okay? With using your discernment still, but not allowing your experience with this person to paint a picture here of what the answer already is. We have surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that came through to guide you. I feel like your intuition has been there from the start. And I feel like you might have abandoned your intuition because you got hurt. And you said, screw it. My intuition is guiding me towards pain. So, your intuition was not lying. Your intuition knew a situation about somebody here. But you did get hurt and you cut this person out, okay? Now, the second scenario that I was saying was if you haven't done that there is a need to do this because your intuition is telling you that there's something toxic here with someone who is needing to learn something about their own inner child their own feminine energy here, okay? Because we have masculine, feminine energy, and this is getting in touch with the inner child allows one to love and be receptive to love. And if this person does love you and you feel this, then the best thing you could do with this person is allow them to be set free so that they can find and free themselves of devil energy and immature energies here, because your intuition knows you deserve something better, okay? And you're not letting them go in order to gain them back. You're letting them go in order to allow the universe to deal with things however the universe deals with things, okay? But I feel your intuition, and there goes my email confirming, your intuition is accurate. Okay, so your intuition is accurate, but what your misconception in the two scenarios, the first scenario is your misconception is this person's hurt me and there's no way that they can change, and I'm seeing this situation and the only thing I can do is stay far, far away from this person. And so if this person wants to communicate, I cannot believe this person. That's a misconception, because we need to release anger. We need to understand what we experience. We need to be open. We need to see things from a different perspective, and then make a fair decision, judgment, using our intuition, because we have a gut feeling what's right is right. If you're in the other scenario I mentioned, it is about us saying my gut feeling is telling me I need to leave this situation because nothing is going to change with this person, but yet you remain in a situation that is cyclical, where somebody keeps disappointing you, okay, and where this person is not freed from whatever toxicity they have here. They're not allowing themselves to be receptive to love. They're not healing any sort of traumas that they need. And you're also not addressing any of your inner child, which is your own self-worth, giving yourself the love that you deserve. You do not need to be around this person to give you that love, okay? So listen to your intuition. We have the divine director. Intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Divine intervention, Wheel of Fortune, and the Tower. Universe is now taking the wheel. Your intuition was right. Let the universe guide. There is a purpose to this suffering. There was a purpose to this experience. There is a purpose to you surrendering and letting go. There's a purpose to everything here, and you're about to find out what this purpose is. And this is where you now grow into the happiness that you deserve, because I do feel like there is happiness here for you to have. And if we're in an opposite state of neutrality, okay, I think there's nothing really opposite of neutral. You can either be on one side of the scale, which is hanging on to an unhealthy sort of situation and you know you should let go, or you could be completely resisting now a situation because of the pain you experience. But the neutral ground is, do not hold on to any anger. Do not hold on to any sort of pain that is preventing you from being neutral, to understand that we are all human, to understand we all have situations in which we must overcome our own devil so that we are able to grow. And I feel this person is learning this, just as you had to learn something within yourself, and you might have been further ahead in learning about yourself and surrendered to the divine and released and cut out a toxic thing about this person, okay? But now we could swing completely the opposite way. So we don't want to now create another sort of complex. We still want to remain very neutral. We want to see a perspective. And I feel like this is coming through for you guys, pile number 2, because I do feel someone is wanting to communicate to you. Use your intuition. Does this feel honest? Does this feel like this person has changed? Is this person still in their toxic energy? Because then you could be repeating another cycle. Okay, so, but be neutral. Because I'm not saying this person is changed. I do feel like there's a metamorphosis taking place. Have they completely metamorphosized? Is that a word? I don't know. I feel there's a change. Are they where they need to be? I don't know. That's your intuition. Okay, do you repeat a cycle? No, you don't repeat a cycle, because you've already learned what you need to learn. So this is where it's difficult, right? You want to be discerning. You don't want to eat the mushroom again that almost killed you. Okay, that's a little dramatic, but you also want to be open and not be on any extreme here, okay, to see what it is. And if this person has not done the work, is not coming receptive, is not addressing what they need to address, what you might have known all along, then sorry, but I must retreat, right? Then it's fine. But if this person is changed and if this person is showing up differently, then see things from a different perspective, see things from their perspective here in order for there to be a solution. Because I feel like there is a resolution coming to something you feel is already done, something you feel is done, okay? Listen to your hunches and your intuition coming out for a third time. So for all of you guys, it could be something completely different because I don't know where you're at with this process. So this is what I have for you guys. Pile number 2. I hope this resonated. Let's pull 3 cards because I did this with pile number 1 just to kind of wrap things up and maybe deliver any sort of guidance or further clarity that will help pile number 2 to understand this. Is there anything I missed or something they need to know in a way of guidance about this misconception that they have in this situation? Any guidance, any further information? Okay, I feel like I need to pull all these. Let us see. We have the King of Pentacles. This is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, stability, father energy, commitment. Okay, well, you guys might want to go see pile 1. There might be a crisscross going on here as per usual. Your person might be in pile 1, you guys, okay? But here we see the King of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Swords. Yes, moving away from difficult strife, from a 5 of Swords, from conflict. This is a 5 of Swords. You were a 5 of Swords with someone. Somebody was self-sabotaging. Someone was toxic. Nobody won in the situation. You've moved away. I do feel like you have. And if you're resonating with the person who's still in the 5 of Swords with someone conflicted, time to move away into calmer waters. Put yourself in a cave so that you can reflect and heal and understand you are deserving of love, okay? But I feel like for a lot of you guys, you've done that. You've cut this person out. So now I feel like what's happening is the roosters are coming home to roost in some way with the Tower, and this person has had time to reflect in some way and now is wanting to move out of whatever energies you guys were in order to find peace and happiness. Peace. Okay, in order to find truce. So I do feel they're coming forward with some communication. Queen of Swords, this is you being discerning. Now, Queen of Swords is somebody who experienced something and is wiser. And she doesn't get wrapped up in her emotions so much. She doesn't let her feelings completely guide her blindly. She is clear. She is certain. She puts boundaries. She communicates truths. She can see now, and she listens to her intuition. But she also has an understanding and a knowing. And if it doesn't sit right, she calls it out. She communicates her truth, and she doesn't put up with anything but the truth. So I feel like there is a need for you to be honest in a situation. I think you see it clearly. I think you see this person clearly. So now you need to just keep sticking to your boundary and the truth of what you know, okay? But also be open, and this is, again, the fine line. Be open with that hangman we were seeing, or the number 12, which was open to seeing a perspective and not be so stuck with your own point of view because of an experience you had that is limiting you now from moving towards calmer waters with this person. And this doesn't necessarily mean you have to let him in your life right away, but allow there to be peace, because I do feel like there is something to be created with this person, and it could be the next stage in a relationship connection with someone to marriage. I don't know. I feel like there is somebody here who wants to connect with you to create something of the next level. Okay, we were seeing commitment in pile 1, and I'm seeing the King of Pentacles, which is all about commitment and stability. We're seeing marriage, which is this King of Pentacles. This is the marriage, the father, the husband, the solid, committed type energy here, okay? And maybe this person had a very difficult time committing. And look, Four of Cups. So you're now not interested. You are disinterested in this person because of an experience you had, and you might be looking at what did not work. You might be so hurt that you cannot even fathom yourself allowing yourself to experience this person, because the Four of Cups is we're just not interested. You know, this is my breakup card, where somebody is so disappointed and they just don't do anything except for look at what didn't work. And they could be in their cave fixated on the didn't work and the pain, and just, if you know, this person comes around, they're like, no, I'm just not interested in anything, because they're just looking at what did not work. And we can get stuck in this mindset, this despondence, this sort of energy of not wanting to allow ourselves to experience anymore because we're just hurt. Okay, so we learned this for a reason, and I know it sucks, but I think your intuition is telling you something. Pile number 2, don't ignore your intuition, no matter how much the pain is, but be discerning. So it's difficult to do both, but I think you can do it. You could be discerning, you could be neutral, you can understand your pain, and you can accept it as something part of a lesson here, and you could be forgiving of someone who you can see past devil energies, if of course this person is genuine and wanting to find a peace here with you. I do feel there is a way for you to get there. There is a way. Okay, so don't see it as something that there's no way out of, that there's no solution. This is an unseemingly solvable problem that will never have a resolution, because now you're pigeonholing this idea you have. So need to see things from a different perspective. I do feel you will be getting communication. Let's see. I know I said that was the last pull, but knowing me, I keep going till we get everything we need. Let's see what this communication is, or when we can expect it, or anything further around this communication. Who's communicating, or any clarity around what this is. I mean, you already know kind of who this is. If you're here, you've experienced some sort of pain with someone. King of Cups / King of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. So 8 of Pentacles is a long time coming, but this is the dedication, the effort, the energy, putting in the work. So somebody who has put in the work is going to be open to you seeing the progress, seeing the change, seeing the work. Okay, they might call you talking about things that they've done, things, ways that they're different, and they might have not have done the work, or they might communicate with you and it's visible to you through your intuition that they've done some inner healing and some inner work to themselves. So which is it? You're going to have to determine if this person is repeating a cycle, or has this person put in energy in releasing any devil energies that were getting in the way. Page of Wands, communication. Again, this is somebody coming forward with communication, and I feel like this is fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I feel like somebody is enthusiastic about communicating with you. And I feel like there is also a message here that if this person seems as though they're still in this page energy, it's okay. Okay, because I feel like the page energy is someone who is still learning. But as long as this person is learning and adapting to what they need to do here, this is different than somebody who is resistant. So I feel like this person still doesn't know necessarily what they're supposed to do. And they're still learning. And we cannot judge someone for having to start somewhere. We can remove ourselves and cut away from someone who is not wanting to learn or change or put in energy towards exploring a different version of themselves. But if they're open, we can't say hold them for their past and say, well, you've done X, Y, Z, and now you're cut out from my life forever. But now if this person is genuinely someone who is wanting to learn or communicating a need and a desire to put in energy towards a change and come forward with this message to you, I mean, you could do what you want, but you might be cutting this person out with the Four of Cups, seeing what they did and thinking you're repeating a cycle. So use your intuition, okay? Has this person changed? Is this different? Is this the same? Are they just communicating here as a page and they're fizzling out? There's no substance behind it, okay? But there is a way for you guys to overcome challenge, to find peace by maintaining your boundary. If you need to, have your boundary. Be very clear. If you resonate with the second half here, pull away from whoever this person is until they communicate a desire to put in energy. Communicate a desire to put in energy, time, effort in towards doing what's best here in this connection. They have to make an effort. If they don't make an effort in a change, this person is never going to change, okay? They will never change if you continuously stay in this situation and not cut this out. It's time for it to end. All right, pile number 2. This was quite the reading. Love you very much. Feel free to check out 1 if you do feel like you have a connection here with somebody who is challenged. 1 could certainly be the challenging person. All right, so I will see you soon. Bye.